Krishna. Okay, Sushila ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so tomorrow is Ekadashi.
Ekadashi.
The special Ekadashi.
Yes.
Nirjal.
Nirjal Ekadashi.
Not simply Nirjala, it is Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi.
Pandava.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Pandava.
One of the Pandavas,
Bhima.
Bhimasena, he was not able to follow Ekadashi. He was given a special concession. At least follow one Ekadashi in a year without water. Equivalent to following all Ekadashis. What is the reason? Okay. Shobha ji, Hare Krishna. Shobha Sagaram ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Kamat family, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Dear Krishna Prabhu, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Bhavana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
Hare
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Aditya. Janardhan ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
How is your reading Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavata?
Going on, I've come to the 11th chapter, Prabhu, 15th chapter.
Okay.
Quite interesting and moving forward slowly, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna. Bhuvika ji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी
Welcome, welcome. Chaliye. So let's begin with the prayers to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Welcome Savarna ji. Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी
You are just on time.
यार
Okay.
हरे
Okay, fine. So let's begin our discussions with Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. Today's discussion will be very important. It's very crucial because Krishna has answered already the 4 questions out of 6 questions asked by Arjuna. What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnana? What is Jnaya? These 4 questions already Krishna has answered. 2 more questions are left. What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? So from verses 20 of 13th chapter up to 24, today which we are going to discuss, is talking about this Prakriti and Purusha. Very important point. In the whole Bhagavad Gita, if you see, these 2 terms, Prakriti, Purusha is being continuously being used. Right? So what does it mean? Is what Krishna explains here. Again, in a very brief way, but very deep, requires careful understanding. So let's get into the subject matter. So in verse number 20, Krishna says, Krishna is answering Arjuna's question rather, what is Prakriti, what is Purusha? The first thing he says is, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhyanadi Ubhavapi. Prakriti and Purusha, both of them are Anadi. Anadi means it has no Adi, no beginning, beginningless. And just like when we offer prayer to Krishna, we say, Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda. Krishna is Anadi Adi. He has no beginning. He is the beginning of everything. That is Krishna's, his definition of Krishna. So like that, even living entities have no beginning. Oh, interesting. This is what Krishna said in the 2nd chapter also, no? Continuously. Atma is Sanatana. Atma is It is, it is eternal, ever existing, Nitya, Shashvata, Sanatana. So many like this adjectives Krishna has explained about soul, right? So here, when Krishna is telling about Purusha, there are two Purushas here. One is the Supreme Purusha, Krishna, who is actually the Purusha. And we living entities are supposed to be Prakriti, but we are imitating like Purusha. Right? That is the problem. So, so Krishna is answering the question, Prakriti and Purusha, either living entity imitating like Krishna or they are lowering their own position, they are always, they are living entities or eternal. Right? The 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara, Purusha, that is Jiva, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma is the 5 subject matters discussed in the whole Bhagavad Gita. So, the 4 subjects, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, are eternal. Means they are ever existing. They are not destroyed, even with the influence of time. Time also is eternal because it is Krishna's energy. What did Krishna say in 11th chapter? He said, Kalo Asmi Lokakshayakrit. I am the eternal time. Krishna, time is the impersonal energy of Krishna. Whereas karma is not eternal. It is dynamically changing. Karma means the action reactions which all of us are experiencing and we are going through in different phases of our life. They are not eternal. It can be stopped. Krishna says our action reaction cycles can be stopped. That's why it's not eternal. You want to continue, it will go on forever if you want to. But if you don't want, it will stop also. Right? So, when it will stop, when we attain Krishna's nature again, when we again go back to spiritual world, we stop karma, cycle of karma. So here, Krishna is again hinting out that Prakriti and Purusha, first aspect of the answer is, they are beginningless. So what is this Prakriti actually? Prabhupada explains. Prakriti is basically one of the energies of Krishna. If we go to 7th chapter, Krishna explains about Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti, right? In verses 3 and 4. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhi revacha ahankara miti yamme bhinna prakritir ashtada. Bhinna prakriti, you see, this is the word Krishna uses, bhinna prakriti, separated energy. Verses 4 and 5, you see, Krishna says very clearly that earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, these constitute my separated material energy. Next verse, 5th verse, Krishna says, there is one more energy, this para prakriti, there is a living entity, jiva bhuta mahabaho. Right? So, Krishna already has indicated that there are many energies of Krishna. One of the energy is called material energy or separated energy or external energy or prakriti. Okay, prakriti means energy, subordinate to Krishna. In the Vedic language, prakriti is considered to be feminine. Feminine means not our understanding of male, female. It is feminine means subordinate and Purusha means predominant, predominator. Predominator, predominated. This is the terms used in Vedic language. Actually, we are also prakriti, but we are one more type of prakriti. We are called tatastha shakti or marginal energy, whereas material energy is called bahiranga shakti or external prakriti, external energy. It is lifeless. The external energy of Krishna has no life. It is jada prakriti. Whereas we, living entities, is also energy of Krishna, but we have symptoms of life. That is the difference. That's why we are called superior, material energy is called inferior. These are the words Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita. Apara Prakriti means inferior. Para Prakriti, we are superior. And both of us are controlled by Krishna. Okay. So here, Prakriti basically means energy of Krishna, and we, living entities, are also energy of Krishna. And both our existence as energies of Krishna is eternal. It is ever existing. Okay. Now, this eternal energy called living entity, spirit, soul, the specific action of this specific function of the spirit soul is that it can manipulate matter. That is the energy it has. That is the powers it has. Not to the extent of Krishna, but very minutely. Okay. So now this living entity, how it developed the mentality of Purusha. Purusha means the enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is known as the supreme enjoyer. We are trying to imitate the supreme enjoyer and want to enjoy in the material world. Right? So, because we are trying to enjoy through our body, either in the male body or female body or any body, animal body, bird body, beast body, any body, the living entity is called Purusha in the material world. That is the definition. Okay. So, we have understood in the beginning of this 13th chapter that there are two knowers. One is the soul, Kshetrajna, and one more is super soul, super Kshetrajna, super soul, right? Atma, Paramatma, right? So, why did we get this body? And who gave this body? Also, Krishna has explained in the previous verses of this chapter, right? So, this body is called Kshetra, right? Field of activity. And this body is composed of elements from Prakriti, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, in different permutation combinations have combined and given this body to us. It is like a dress. Thus, I am wearing a white dress, and this chadar. This shirt is stitched according to my body dimensions. So this shirt doesn't have any life. I'm just giving an example. Likewise, this body of bone, muscle, mucus, blood doesn't have life. It is the soul, because of its presence in the heart of the living entity, in the heart of this body, it is giving out energy as consciousness, because of which this body is active, or it seems to be alive. The soul leaves the body. This very body which you are decorating, which you are trying to use it for so many purposes, useless. So this body called Kshetra is composed of elements from the material nature. This Krishna has explained in many places in the whole Bhagavad Gita. In this chapter also Krishna has explained. It's just a combination of, if you see the 7th chapter again, in the verse number 6. Etad vyonini bhutani sarvani tupadharya aham krishnasya jagata prabhava pralayastata. Right? Krishna says, all that is material and spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. Right? Everything is a product of spirit and matter. Means right now, as spirit soul, we are embedded in this material nature. So what Krishna is telling us here is, Prakriti, Purusha, both are eternal, energies of Krishna, existing eternally. But the living entity, right now, it has taken a body. It has got a body given by material nature under the instructions of Krishna. And how I got the body? Based on my desire. I desire to wear a white shirt today. Tomorrow I'll desire to wear a black shirt. So based on my desire, Lord is ordering material nature, give this shirt to this person. Shirt means body. Sometimes as human, sometimes as devata, sometimes as bird, like this. I'm changing bodies. And it's all because of my desiring. I am desiring. Right? I want to, desire means I want to enjoy like this. Right? I want to experience like this. That is called desiring. Right? So, basically, the different types of body which I'm going to get or which I'm getting is because of my desiring like this. Whatever I am right now is because of my desiring like this in my previous life. It is a sum total cumulative effect of so many different desires, aspirations you had, one shape you get. And in this life, again, you go on desiring and aspiring for different things. One more body you're going to get. Like this, you're creating so many bodies for many, many lifetimes. Like this, the cycle of our life, birth and death is going on. So all this began when we started desiring to be independent of Krishna. As spirit souls, we are all originally, eternally servants of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Nitya. But when we something independent of Krishna, became rebellious, Prabhupada used the word, due to rebellious nature, Krishna bhogavancha kare. When the living entity wanted to exist independent of Krishna, then what happened? He came under the conditions of this material nature. This material nature means Prakriti. Prakriti has some conditions. It's like when a person in a city or in a town, he is not obeying the laws of the state or that place. What happens? He comes under the control of police. So Prakriti is like police, judiciary, law and order, police. So what they will do? They will try to correct him. They will punish him first of all. Why are you violating laws? And they'll try to correct him. That's what police does. Likewise, when we become rebellious of our actual nature as Krishna's servant, Krishna's devotee, then we are put in this jail or this custody of material nature, of this material nature, Prakriti Maya. And she will continue to punish us unless until we rectify our mentality. So why and how, when it happened, when I broke the law, when I became, I became rebellious with God, Prabhupada says, we can't trace it back. It is very long time, many millions of lifetimes ago. Right? Prabhupada says, it does not really matter how the living entities have come in contact with material nature. But the Supreme Lord knows how and why this actually took place. He knows. It's not relevant for us to know why and how it happened, but this is a fact that I've got conditioned now. So somehow you have got attracted to this type of a independent desiring life in this material world, and because of which you are struggling in the material world going on, as Prabhupada says, hard struggle for existence. Struggle for existence is going on for us. Means even to our existing, we have to work hard, go on in this material life like this. So all these aspects of I getting a body, I'm experiencing different miserable situations, I'm coming under the influence of Prakriti. Prakriti means, we'll see in the next chapter, modes. Means that particular type I wanted to desire, and I desired in a particular way. So that type of experience and a body I am given. One mode. It's like in the washing machine, there's different modes are there. Cotton washing, or mix cotton, or sports modes, they're all modes. So what type of mode you want, the material nature will adjust based on your desire, it will adjust. Okay. You want the mode of a dog, okay, become a dog. You want the mode of a insect, okay, become insect. Mode of a bird, okay. Everything is available. There are 84 lakh modes, different varieties. It's very important. It is a very subtle aspect. You have to understand how this functions. So, the different transformations of this body, what all we are seeing around us, we are all, around 15 people here. So, all of us are different because all of us, our desiring is different. All of us look different, even though we are called humans. Desiring, because whatever we desired, that particular profile, Krishna has ordered material nature to provide that. Whatever we are responsible for that. That's what it means. Right? And we only can desire. Rest everything, all the transformations and all the different influences which we experience is because of material nature. Under Lord's order, material nature configures a particular type of a body for us. This is what the first verse is telling. Living entity has nothing to do with this, but somehow it has got entangled. Okay. So, Prakriti and Purusha are eternal, and the different types of bodily transformations we are going through, experiences we are going through is all because of Prakriti. Further, verse 21. Karya karana kartritve hetu prakriti ruchyate Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktritve hetu ruchyate. Now, Krishna is telling, Karya karana kartritve means there are cause and effect. Just like now it is dark. The reason for it is being dark is sun has set. That is the cause. Effect is darkness. Right? I am hearing some sound next room. Oh, if I go and see, oh, somebody is using a hammer and banging something. Oh, the cause for the sound is this hammering. Effect is I am hearing a loud sound here. I am just trying to explain the concept of cause and effect. Okay. So, different aspects of causes and effects. Cause means different activities, what is happening here, and the later effects, what we see of that. It's like, there was a big war activity, war. Why some fight, war has happened, and the effect is, after a lot of deaths, we are seeing casualties. People are all, lost their houses. Everything is demolished. Effect. Right? So, Krishna is telling, Prakriti hetu, the Prakriti, nature, is the cause of the different causes and effects. Different activities and effects, Prakriti is responsible. Whereas we, as living entities, Krishna says, Purusha is only an experiencer. Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktritve heturuchyate. Very important concept, Krishna is telling. See, these 5 verses are very important. If you understand this, the rest of the Bhagavad Gita is very simple. Okay? Because it has the very important principles to understand. Okay? So, Krishna is telling, very importantly, that we as living entities are only experiencers of happiness, distress. I'll give an example. When you enter a movie theater, on the screen, there's a nice movie going on. You are sitting in your chair, you are watching the movie, and maybe at some point of time, so the movies are, whatever it is, in the movie or on the television also, you get into that whole scene of that movie. You identify with that, with the characters, and you are there in the movie, right? So this creating an illusion. See, what is that? What you're seeing on the screen? If you just switch off everything, the screen is only a white, board or a white, cloth. On that, some light patches are being shown. Correct? Effect of electronics. Projection happens, and it's all. And in that a movie, the characters come and play. And while it is going on, you as an observer, you enter into that whole field of characters there. That whole scene, that whole, that plot, you become part of that scene. That's why you see when very emotional scene is being shown, tears are coming out, right? And you become so much part of the movie, you feel now hero has to go and hit. Right? You see, movies, people identify with the movie characters. So, material nature is actually doing that only for us. It is putting us in illusion. It is not a movie on the screen. It is with different other people around us. It has created a movie scene for us. This is your father, this is your mother, this is your wife, husband, family, everything. This is big movie going on. Okay, in the movie you marry, in the movie you get children, in the movie everything is going on in the movie. Right? But if you see in the movie, whatever characters are there, they have the real life. In the movie, the same hero would have gone through the lifespan of maybe from birth up to death. Right? But after death, the movie is over, he's a normal person in his real life. Right? Similarly, we as spirit souls, we're eternal. But we are identifying with some characters in this movie of this material world, which Prakriti is projecting on us as modes of nature. And we are all identifying with that illusion and going on in our life. This is my family. This is my community. This is what it is. I have to work for it. I have to drive for it. Like this, our life goes on. So, this whole drama, what is going on, is Prakriti doing for us. And we have identified with Prakriti by desiring to be enjoying this material world in our own way. That's why Krishna says, Purusha Sukha Dukkhana. It's like in a dream. In a dream, you are sleeping actually. But the dream world, you are experiencing different Sukha Dukkha, right? Sometimes good dreams, sometimes bad dreams. But you're an experiencer. Bhoktrutve. Right? That's what Krishna is telling us here. The material happiness and distress are due to the body I have got, not to the spirit soul himself. Spirit soul is just an observer, an experiencer. Right? If you remember, in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada gave example from Upanishad. There are two birds sitting on a tree. One bird is enjoying the fruits. Another bird is witnessing. That is actually two knowers. One is individual knower, Atma, who is trying to enjoy this material world. And one more is Paramatma, who is observing. We'll see about that, in the next few verses. So here in this verse, Krishna is telling, nature is doing all this cause and effect for us. All the drama, right? The different bodies we are getting. Your own, from your own life now, from your childhood up to now, birth up to now, you will have your photos, photographs. You see how many bodies you have changed. Like this, you have been changing many bodies, life after life is a fact. And there are 84 lakh different types of bodies. And all these creations of bodies. You may say, my parents is the cause of my birth. I am the effect. Right? Cause and effect. But Prabhupada explains, this is how Krishna has designed this material world. To experience that reality in a way as though this is real. You give a feeling of reality. Prabhupada very nicely says, in the original state, the living entity is actually free from all such illusory engagements. The spiritual world is pure. The material world, everyone is struggling very hard to acquire victims who present different pleasures to the body. See, in the material world, we want to have relations, we want to experience different type of different types of the experiences of family, friendship, society, everything. Experience of male-female relationship. All this is actually in the spiritual world in its real state. We are given a sample here. But this sample doesn't last long. That's the problem. It is just to give an indication to us. The real thing is there in spiritual world. Here we are experiencing all these things so that you understand this is not my real life. Real life is there. This life has, that is the meaning with Krishna has created this material world. So that you understand a real, I am looking forward for an eternal relationship, which is not going to break. I want eternal happiness, continuously experiencing, bliss, joy. Not happening. Why? Body. This material nature is giving us different bodies. It is actually stopping our experience. That's the point. So, what Krishna is telling us here is, the material nature is continuously going on giving you bodies. And one body after another. As you desire, you go on getting bodies. In human life, if you again desire different type of experience and different type of enjoyment, again you get more bodies. Again cycle of evolution, again going on like this. So Prabhupada says, according to one's desires and activities, material nature places one in various residential quarters. Body means this kshetra, residential quarter. Now, the being himself is the cause of his attempting such residential quarters because he desired like this. And once you are in that body, you have to experience. Prabhupada gives an example how when at the time the living entity has no power to change that law. Once you get a body, you cannot say that, oh, I get a human body, I want to fly like a bird. No. Whatever body it has, every body has one specific features. Just like every gadget has specific features. It will only function based on that. You cannot expect one gadget or one machine to operate in different ways, whatever way you want. No. A mixie can only do grinding. Right? It cannot do cooking. Understand? Like that. So once you get one specific body, it has some specific functions, in specific ways it functions. Prabhupada gives example here. Once placed in some particular kind of body, he comes to the control of nature because the body matter acts according to the laws of nature. Right? At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. Suppose an entity is put into the body of a dog, immediately, he must act like a dog. He cannot act otherwise. See, he will act like, he must think like dog. He will bark like dog. Everything like dog. That is how the living entity functions like that. Okay. So basically, Prabhupada says, this type of different types of bodies, why we are getting is our own desiring ability. So we are so powerful. Our desire is so powerful. That's why Krishna says in 8th chapter, what you desire at the time of death is very important. Yam yam vapis paran bhavam. If you desire to get Krishna, you will get Krishna. Yanti deva vrata devan, pitrun yanti pitrvrata, bhutena yanti bhutaji yanti bhuteja, yanti madhyaji no vipam. Right? If you you desire me, you will get me, Krishna says. So desiring is the ability of the soul. If you desire something other than Krishna, you will get that body. Once you get that body, you have to live that life, whatever span of life that body is entitled for. Again, based on different desires, the body is going on evolving. Just like from a body of a dog, beast, you evolve to next higher level species, and then you come to human. Human means you can desire to go back to spiritual world. Again, you degrade to aquatics. Again, you have to evolve. It's like, you have gone up to 80th floor. You fall down to some 10th floor. Again, you have to climb 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a cycle of evolution. It's called evolutionary cycle. Okay. But the Lord as Paramatma is very merciful, very kind. He is with the individual soul in every body. Paramatma is accompanying us. Okay, you want to become dog? No problem. I'll be with you. Then slowly evolve. Then human being. And one point of time before birth, you'll remind, okay, you are dog, you are that, you are this. Now don't again fall down. Okay, Krishna, you'll pray in the womb of the mother. Again, you'll fall down. So like this is going on. Life is going on. See what is happening with our life. This is jnana. Next, Krishna says, like this, why we are getting different bodies then? Sometimes as a devata, sometimes as an ant, sometimes as an elephant, sometimes as something. Why? Some good bodies, bad bodies. Why? Krishna says, Purusha prakritisto hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sadasa janma yonishu. In this way, the living entity in the material nature, Purusha prakritisto hi. He is in the material nature. Like this, in the living entity is entangled in the material nature so intensely that he is pulled. Whatever material nature gives the body is forced helplessly to act that way. Right? Prabhupada says, one very elevated person in our country, he became a dog in Sweden. Right? He was big position. Next life dog. You can't help it. Which means material nature will force you to act that way in that body. You cannot say, I was a prime minister or big person in the last life. No. That's what this verse is telling. You are forced to act that way. Because material nature works under certain laws. You cannot, means you cannot. In Delhi, who have traveled in metro, you experience. I think even everywhere metro is common now. There are certain laws, certain rules which we have to follow. Right? Doors are closing, doors are opening. You have to be very careful. Right? Right. So, laws are like that. You don't follow the laws, then you will be penalized. Right? Likewise, Krishna says, the living entity, when it is under the influence of material nature, that's why it's called marginal energy. Tatastha Shakti means marginal energy. It desires, it can be in spiritual nature, or it doesn't want to be spiritual nature, it can be in material nature. That's why it's called Tatastha. Marginal means either here or there. But when it is in material nature, the material nature laws will act on the living entity. And it is enjoying the modes. The material nature means the three modes. I told you the modes. Example of washing machine, remember, different modes. Or even in the, in the mixie also, very 1, 2, 3, light, more and more, right? That's the different modes, right? In which you can operate a machine, right? So like that, the material nature action 3 modes. We'll understand more about this in the next chapter. What are these 3 modes? The permutation, combination of these modes, how it acts. Mainly there are 3 modes: Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tama Guna. So you come under these modes. Tama Guna means total ignorance. Almost like, like an animal. Don't have interest in spiritual life. Just want to eat, sleep, enjoy life. Raja Guna means very passionate. Work hard, name, fame, desires, aspirations. Right? For material aspirations. Spiritual aspirations like this, very good. I want to work hard for Krishna. I want to get more money for Krishna. Good, very good. But if it becomes material, degradation. Okay. The modes will come into play when you forget your spiritual nature. Krishna bhuliya ji, that's the main thing. Right? That is the punishment which Krishna gives you. It is going to put you in a situation of forgetfulness of Krishna in a way that you think that what you are doing is correct. So in this way, Krishna says, Karanam guna sangosya. Because of his association with different modes, what happens? The living entity sometimes, Prabhupada says, sometimes as a devata, sometimes as a human, sometimes as a beast, sometimes as a bird, sometimes as a worm, sometimes as aquatic, sometimes as a saintly person, sometimes as a bug. This is going on. Right? The living entity thinks himself to be the master of his circumstances. In any life he thinks, oh, I am the master. I am the Lord. But actually he's completely under the control of material nature. Just like anybody, in any big nation, in our experience, the president or prime minister thinks, I am very powerful. But no, actually he's under the control of nature. How long he'll be powerful? Very fact that he's going to die one day itself is an example. He's getting old. Itself an example. Birth, death, old age, disease is the first, experience of everybody, first-hand experience that we are under the control of modes of nature, material nature. Material nature means it has conditions. When you get a body means you have to be born, you have to grow old, you have to be diseased, you have to die one day. Nobody can come out of these problems. That's why Krishna says, what does he say in this chapter only? Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. Right? So, in this verse, Krishna is telling us that living entity, how it is transmigrating from one body to another. What is going on? In second chapter, what did Krishna say? Dehi nosmin yatmaram yavvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatrana muhyati. The living entity is going on from childhood to boyhood to old age like this. The soul is transmigrating from one body to another. Krishna also said, Vasamsi jiranani yatha vihaya. It's like changing. We are changing our bodies. So how that change is happening, what is the reason? Krishna is explaining here. That is jnana. Body is experienced. We are seeing also every day. But why it is happening, Krishna is explaining here. Right? So, why it is happening, specific reason is, Krishna says, it is due to association with the different modes of nature. Again, modes of nature means the characteristic way in which material nature is influencing our consciousness. Consciousness with regard to our understanding, our thinking, our determination, our intelligence, our way of seeing things, everything. Wholesale. We'll see this in the next chapter very nicely. Anyway, here the point is the modes, we are associated with the modes. That example of, again, movie theater, we remember. How you get lost. You are in one more world for 2 hours. Movie world. Right? You see any movie, you are into that actually. You become part of that whole movie. Right? Like that, we are into one movie every life, different movies. Again, one movie over, one life over means one movie over. One more life begins, one more movie starts. That is many movies you have got. Different movies you have experienced. So Prabhupada says, as long as the living entity is under the influence of material nature or is associating with material nature. So Krishna's advice in this chapter is, or further chapters is, disassociate from the modes and elevate your consciousness associated with Krishna. It is called Krishna consciousness. Right? So, how to do that? Prabhupada says, by hearing from authoritative sources. Oh, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna. Modes of nature are like this. Body means kshetra. All this you have to hear from Krishna and Prabhupada nicely. Prabhupada says, like this, we go on hearing, there is a change in consciousness. Like how Arjuna is hearing here, best example. So if you submit ourselves to the hearing process, that's why Hare Krishna chanting and simultaneous hearing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you go on chanting, hearing, what happens? Prabhupada says, the long cherished desire to dominate material nature, I want to enjoy like this, I can desire like this, this will subside. And desire to serve Krishna will awaken, which is actually naturally there. It is sleeping now. So, desire to serve Krishna should awaken. Desire to enjoy the material world should subside. Prabhupada says very nicely, one reduces his long desire to dominate, enjoy spiritual happiness. It's just a change of desire only. Right? Different nature, spiritual nature when you start doing Krishna consciousness. When you start desiring to, just like you desire to attend a session today, it's good. That much Krishna has noticed. Like this, go on doing every day. From your side, change in consciousness will happen. Whole Krishna consciousness is change of consciousness. From material consciousness means I want to enjoy like this, I want to desire like this, for my enjoyment, for my family enjoyment. Is thinking. Just to Krishna, I would like to do it for Krishna like this. I want to make everybody, my family should become Krishna conscious, how to plan more rounds, how to read Bhagavad Gita. That is called. Okay, that's what Krishna says. So, the whole problem is our association with the modes of nature. Modes of nature means types of plannings and different types of desires, experience in the material world. That is association. As you associate, so you develop sanjayate kama. Krishna said in 2nd chapter. When the way you associate, you will develop your desires accordingly. So Krishna has said, Prakriti, Purusha are eternal. They are ever existing. The living entity, by desiring against the will of Krishna, it has come in the control of material nature. And the material nature is producing us different bodies under the order of Krishna because we desired like that. But we as living entity are only experiencer. Everything what is going on is material nature only doing under the order of Krishna. The way we desire, the different configurations, everything. If we think that I am doing, it is my foolishness. It's what Krishna said in 3rd chapter. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Oh, I am doing it. I have built my body. Oh, body muscles. I have become very strong. I am a boxer. I am that. I am this. All foolishness, Krishna says. Mudha. Ahankara vimudhatma. Not only mudha, special mudha. Vimudha means Vishesha Mudha. Okay. So, special Mudha. Why, we have to become special Mudhas? Which you are not that, you are trying to become that, or you are claiming to be that. That's the problem. So, Krishna said further, all these different types of bodies you are experiencing, different types of, situations you are going through in the material world is because you are associating with the modes of nature. And sometimes you are getting very high-class body in Devata body, sometimes a very insignificant body of the worm in a stool. Like this cycle of transmigration is happening. Brahmana is going on. Right? Going through the cycle of evolution continuously, life after life. And all this is happening. What is Paramatma doing? Now next verse, 23rd verse. Upadrashta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha Paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmun purusha paraha. Is Paramatma also becoming like a dog or a hog or something else? No. Paramatma is only sitting and observing what all you are doing. Okay, go on doing. I will be sanctioning. That's what Krishna is telling. I am observing, upadrashta, overseeing, and I am sanctioning, permitting you. Okay, whatever you desire, I will sanction. But provided you deserve. Okay. So Lord is sitting as Paramatma in everybody's heart, but his position is not like the living entity who is entangled. He is Purusha Paraha. He is transcendentally situated. Okay. And his position is what? He is Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. Very important. This verse is also important. Paramatma is sitting in our heart as witnesser, overseer, permitter, and supreme enjoyer. Prabhupada says. Right? Bhokta means he is enjoying everything. Either he is the actual enjoyer, but we are imitating enjoyment. Bharta means he is maintaining us. On our own, we cannot do anything. Lord only has to maintain. Lord only has to give us sunlight, moonlight, air, water, everything. Whatever we are living is because of Lord. Gatir Bharta, Prabhu Sakshi, Nivasa, Saranam. 9th chapter, Krishna explained everything. So like this, Krishna is only maintaining us. He is the supreme Lord, supreme proprietor. And that Lord, as Paramatma, is sitting in our heart and is observing everything what we are doing. And is sanctioning also. So, there are some so-called spiritual organizations which equate Atma, Paramatma, same. Wrong. Krishna says here. Atma is entangled. It is going through, cycle of birth and death. It is experiencing different, situations of different bodies, life after life. Paramatma is only accompanying the individual soul just to facilitate the living entities' different, desires and waiting. Prabhupada very nicely says, because the living entity is eternally part and parcel, right? As Paramatma, we are all eternally Mamaivamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are intimately related. Just like this hand is intimately related to my body. Like that, we are all intimately related with Krishna. But we have been given a aspect of free will, independence. If you want, you can accept Krishna. If you don't want, you can reject Krishna. So this aspect of independence Krishna has given, that is his love for us. Not that he is forcing us, you have to surrender. No. He has given independence. You use the independence. If you misuse, you will come to the material nature. If you properly use, then you are in spiritual nature. That's why they are called Tadastha Shakti. So, as long as we are misusing the our freedom, free will which Krishna has given, we are conditioned by the material world. So at that point of time, Krishna will accompany us as Paramatma, super soul sitting with us always. Prabhupada says, as a friend, super soul stays with him just to get him to return to the spiritual energy. Just see. Such a wonderful friend is. Sitting with us, waiting when this fellow will turn his face and come back to spiritual world. The Lord is always eager to take him back to spiritual energy. Very eager he is. But due to his minute independence, the individual entity is continually rejecting the association of spiritual light. Prabhupada says, Lord is so eager to take us back, I am not even bothered. Lord is telling, come. Why are you suffering here? I am very happy here. That is the problem. So, the misuse of independence is the cause of his material strife in the conditioned nature. That's why Lord is giving instructions continuously within the heart as Paramatma, externally as Bhagavad Gita. He is sending representatives, Prabhupada, continuously telling us, hey, what are you doing? Wake up, come to the right path. Right? Lord is trying to convince him in different ways that material life, real happiness is not there. Prabhupada says, Lord is trying to convince every living entity, just give up your so-called material happiness and turn your faith toward me. Then you will be happy. So, why Paramatma is just sitting and doing this work, always trying to elevate the living entity. But we always want to reject. Constantly, Prabhupada says, the living entity is constantly rejecting and misusing his freedom. That is the situation of living entity in Paramatma. So if you're intelligent enough, Prabhupada says, you'll take these instructions from Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, indications from Paramatma within, and you will move towards spiritual journey. This is the whole situation of Prakriti and Purusha. So Krishna concludes in verse 24 very nicely. Ya evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasa bhuyo abhijayate. One who understands this philosophy of what? Prakriti, Purusha, material nature, living entity, and Gunai Saha, interaction of the modes of nature, is sure to attain liberation. He will not again come back here. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Just see, simply if you understand these 5 verses, Krishna is assuring you will not get birth again. Again and again, Krishna is reminding this point. Our purpose of life is not to go on, continuing to take birth again and again, to get liberated. Liberated means no more influence of material modes. Again, reinstate in your spiritual situation of eternal servant of Krishna. That is liberation, right? So, Prabhupada says the purpose of knowledge is to distinctly understand that the living entity has by chance fallen into the material existence. Somehow I have fallen in this material world, going on taking material bodies. By my personal endeavor, in association with authorities, saintly persons, spiritual master, guru, sadhu, shastra, what you have to do? We have to associate with them. You have to understand your own position and come back to our spiritual situation. That is the whole purpose. As given in Bhagavad Gita, as explained by Supreme Lord, as explained by Prabhupada. If you do this, simply endeavor to do this, Prabhupada says, you will not come again to this material world. You will be transferred to spiritual world at the end of our life. You see, Krishna is assuring. This 5 verses you understand, you will go back to spiritual world. That is the assurance Krishna is giving. Okay, so wonderful. Similarly, Krishna said in 19th verse also, if you understand about Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya, you will go back to spiritual world. Every moment he's telling, one verse is good enough. Prabhupada says, you understand properly, nicely, internalize it. Oh, finish. You'll go back to spiritual. So this is the situation. This is what Prakriti, Purusha going on in the material. What is all this? Prabhupada says the mystery of creation. What is this life? I got a body, male body, female body, this life, family life, so many bodies. What is all going on? Krishna has explained in a very nice way, simple way. What is it? Okay. So I'll conclude here. Anybody, anything to discuss, ask? You can take a few questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
just one doubt
Tell me.
that Prabhuji, that Brahman, Prakriti, and Jagat are almost same, or it is some different?
Brahman. Brahman is again, see, there are different aspects of Krishna. Brahman, in different contexts, it means different things. Brahman, in one context, it means spirit. Brahman, in one more context, it means Parabrahman. Right? Anything spiritual is considered to be Brahman. Brahman, in one more context, Veda, the Sanskrit language is so wonderful that every word has multiple meanings based on the context. Brahman also means very big, very huge. Right? So, like in this chapter only, we'll see in the next chapter. In this chapter also, Krishna explained Mahat Brahma. Mahat Brahma means that whole material existence, it was lying dormant without any varieties. Mahat Tattva, Mahat Brahma, the beginning stage of creation. It's called Mahat Brahma. So again, there's a statement in Vedas, it says that, everything is Brahman. Everything is energy of Krishna. Okay. Nothing is without Krishna's energy, manifestation here. That is what it means. That is Brahman. Jagat basically means world. That which constantly changes, that which constantly moves is called Jagat. Right? That is Brahman, Jagat, and what is one more word?
Prakriti.
Prakriti. Prakriti is again energy of Krishna. See, everything based on context. In what context you want to understand, you have to take that particular context to understand the things. Right? Just like Lord is also known as Jagannatha. Jagannatha means Jagat Natha, the Lord of the world, or Lord of the universe, that way. Right? Jagadisha, Jagannatha. Jagat Isha. So, Jagat in what context you want to tell? That's the point, right? Again, Jagat means it is Krishna's creation. Krishna has manifested his Jagat. Which Jagat? Whether it is individual one planet or the whole universe or universes, what it is. The context matters. Okay. So, like this, the Brahman or Jagat or Prakriti. Prakriti again, here, the context here is the energy which is influencing the living entity. Right? Even mountains, sky, oceans, rivers, they are also Prakriti. Right? So many planetary systems, they are also Prakriti, part of Prakriti only. Here specifically that aspect of Prakriti which influences the living entity is being discussed. Right? So it refers to the context, which aspect of Prakriti? The Prakriti which is having three modes. Prakriti only, total Prakriti, that is functioning on the living entity in three characteristic ways, in three particular ways. That Prakriti's particular function is being described here. Prakriti, how it functions based on Krishna's order. How she is creating illusion. Tribir Gunamayer Bhaver, Ebi Prakriti. 7th chapter Krishna says. Three modes, she acts in three modes. Tribir Gunayer Prakritir, Ebi Sarvam Idam Jagat. Mohitam Nabi Janati, Mamebhya Param Avyajam. Right? He says, the three modes, whole world is deluded or is coming into illusion. Because of which whole world does not know me. Prabhupada says, the material world is enchanted by the three modes of nature. Enchanting means some magic spell happens. When you come under material world, in the material Prakriti, she puts a magic on you. And you forget who you are. That is Prakriti. That is, Prakriti again refers to the context. They are very, they are terminologies or vocabulary used in Vedic language to describe so many things. Refers to some particular context, it has different explanations. That's the point. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhuji, one small doubt I have, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, in the purport of text 21, Prabhupada writes, the spiritual world is pure, but in the material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire victims who present different pleasures to the body. So by victims, I think he means our different attachments. Those are the victims, the attachments we have.
Acquire victims means the different, objects of sense enjoyment. Whatever, like, the victim may be a situation, right? Or a person, or an activity, right? Anything. See, everybody is trying to get what I can get. Just like for a cat, it is waiting when I can get my rat. Victim. How I can, for a thief, how I can steal this person, how I can make him a victim for my enjoyment. It's basically the mood of exploitation. Living entity in the material world want to exploit at the cost of his enjoyment, even not even bothering about others' pain or displeasure or discomfort. That's the point. What do you mean victim? Victim basically means he is going to suffer by the somebody has he has violated or he has infringed upon somebody else's rights. He becomes the victim, right? It's like nowadays you're seeing the digital arrest. You become victim of some people who are fraudsters to digitally arrest you. You become a victim. So that example of digital arrest, if you see, material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire victims. It gives a better sense, right? Looking for how I can put topi to this person, how I can cheat this person. Victims. Victims who present different pleasures of the body. Oh, if I make this person victim, I can get a lot of money. I can enjoy pleasure of the body like this. That's what.
Lauding tendency.
Lauding tendency.
Lauding.
It may be a situation. It may be an activity. It may be a person. Right? Like this, based on the context, it can be different. Victims may be different. Victims can be do how many different things. It's like a specific situation. In a office, somebody is so timid and so humble. The other person is bossing over. He makes him a victim. Okay, you go and get me 1 cup of tea. You go and do that for me. He is simply sitting and sleeping. Right? He's enjoying. Hey, he's going no for me, everything. Understand? Playing. Right? Making him victim. That's the point. It happens everywhere. Right? Everybody is trying to lord over, boss over everywhere, everything.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Everything, Prabhupada, every statement is carefully studied. A lot of meaning is there. Depth. Good. You have pointed out this thing. I also, when I was preparing, I saw that statement again. It was little, a revelation for me. Victim. Why Prabhupada is using this word victim? I just little reflected, then this much is what I
Situations, different situations.
Different situations. Yes. Different situations. It may be a person also. It may be different activity also. It's like I was just 2 days back, I was in Varanasi. Yes. Fine. Every day there is Arati happening at 5 ghats. Okay. Especially one ghat is there. It's called Dashashwamedha Ghat. Earlier, I used to go there, maybe, some time ago, some years ago. Fine, used to go and attend and come back. This time, somebody told me, sir, if you can purchase some ticket, paying some money, you can sit in a particular place and then you can experience a very nice Arati. Really? Okay, fine. Pay something and we'll. I said, basically, it is a hotel on the bank of that, Ganga, near the ghat. And, chairs are put. So it's like, I was thinking I made a victim to,
Yes.
to be use as a victim for his earning. Finally, it is same experience that you stand in some corner and see or sit there and see. But anyway, situation, activity. This is what it is. So in that situation, just like in a transaction, you are trying to purchase something somewhere you're gone and some out of station and you're purchasing something. A transaction is an activity. There you are made a victim. That product may be, say, 100 rupees, but you you landed paying 300 rupees. Then you feel yourself victim, no? 200 rupees lost. Correct?
Yes.
Like that, situations, activities, persons, anything can be victims. Okay.
Thank you. Very well explained. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. We will continue our discussions next session. Hare Krishna. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.